September 5th, the day the French makes their last stand at the Valley of Marne. The Germans have already pushed the French army to the outskirts of Paris. They were only 30 miles away. The Germans planned to follow the Scefflin plan and swiftly defeat France. The French, in response, prepared for a siege and readied themselves at the front of Paris. They reloaded all their guns, fortified their trenches, and got ready for an all-out war. The French readied their troops and sent them to their battle stations, ready to defend against the Germans. However, the French army and British army have been exhausted from constantly retreating for 10 days, and German victories seem close as they close in on Paris. The French did not give up yet. They regrouped in the valley of the Marne River, and then the first battle of the Marne erupted. For days, the French army has been under heavy fire, and victory seemed grim. The French were persistent and gave it all they got to defend their land. And on September 7th, 6,000 French soldiers reinforced the French army and held off that German attack. The Germans have taken a rest and were not prepared for a battle. They were to resume their attack on the French in the morning, but they did not know of what was to come that would prevent it from happening. The following night, General Francis d'Esperance led the 5th Army on a surprise attack on the German 2nd Army. September 10th, the French successfully defended and claimed victory over the Germans on the Battle of Marne. By September 9th, German armies were on the retreat, ordered by German Chief Helmuth von Moltke. The French army was in slow pursuit, allowing the German army to withdraw and prepare and dig trenches at the river of Aisne. The Battle of Marne had finally come to a complete end on September 12th. However, both sides suffered severe casualties, as the French lost around 250,000 troops and the Germans lost around the same amount. The British lost 12,733 troops. But in the end, the French successfully defended their homeland. As the war continued, German Chief von Falkenhayn, wanting to get a devastating victory over the French, came up with a plan that was to bleed France white by launching a massive German attack on a narrow piece of land that had historic sentimental value to the French. The Germans were to attack the forts around Verdun. These forts have been guarding the eastern border of France for a long time. The area of Verdun consisted of 20 major forts and 40 smaller ones that had historically protected the eastern border of France. Falkenhayn believed that if the French lose these forts, the humility would be devastating, so French instead would fight till its last man. This would weaken French by making them use a lot of resources and troops to defend this land. The French forts have been weakened because ammunition has been moved from the forts to the western fronts. The defenses and fortifications for the forts were not completed, and the trenches, too, have not been completely dug out. 140,000 German troops attacked with 1,200 artillery guns and 2.5 million bomb shells. The French General Philippe Pétain, who was in charge of defending Verdun, was put into a difficult situation. The Germans had air supremacy, with 168 planes patrolling the skies. This has been the largest concentration of planes at that point. Only 30,000 French troops were stationed to defend against this attack. The Germans have sieged the French forts of Verdun, and the French were going to give in, until French reinforcements came with 25,000 tons of supplies, 90,000 French troops, and 6,000 vehicles. These were all transported through one road. Later on, this road was known as the Sacred Way. Casualties were great for both sides, as the Germans lost 120,000 men, and the French 133,000 men. As the battle continued, General Philippe Pétain asked French commander Joseph Joffre for more troops, but was rejected. He was on his own. He had to defend with what troops and supplies were left. June 1st, Germans launched a massive attack on Verdun. But by June 23rd, within 2.5 miles of Verdun, the attack faltered as the German army gave all that it had and could not continue. The French had successfully defended against the Germans, and they have pushed them back. By October, the French had recaptured the two forts at Vaux and Douaumont, but the area around the forts was completely destroyed. And on December 16th, the Battle of Verdun ended with a French victory. At the end of the battle, the French lost 360,000 troops, while the Germans lost 340,000 troops. General Philippe Pétain was later known as a hero.